The Scots are the chosen people after the resurrection. I forgot I did a video like a year ago about this, but I wasn't focused so much on the Grail. But it all ties together. So I may have to do this in two parts. I'm going to try to do it in one. The Holy Grail is revered and elusive object in Christian legend, often described as the cup used by Jesus Christ at the Last Supper. And if you know anything about the video I did yesterday, I basically said, is the cup that the MacLeod clan has, does it possibly go, is that the cup, is that the Holy Grail? There's nobody saying that, but then I came upon all this. So it's that Jesus Christ used at the Last Supper, and later used by Joseph of Arimathea to collect Jesus' blood during the crucifixion. In Arthurian legend, the Grail is the object sought by the knights of King Arthur's Round Table. Yeah, everybody remembers all this, right? Or when you were younger. The concept of the Holy Grail originated in, and for those that can't see the author, let me show a different cover. So the Holy Grail originated in medieval literature, such as this. The legend possibly drew inspiration from Greek, Roman, and Celtic mythologies featuring horns of plenty, magic, life-restoring cauldrons, and other similar motifs. I don't want to read all of this here. According to legend, the Holy Grail possesses miraculous healing power, sometimes granting eternal youth or sustenance in infinite abundance. It is often guarded by the Fisher King and located in the Hidden Grail Castle. The Grail's presence is said to restore the wasteland, a desolate region resulting from the king's wound. The quest for the Holy Grail has become a metaphor for spiritual seeking and the pursuit for ultimate truth, yada, yada, yada. Some notable mentions. The Knights Templar in Scotland were granted lands and possessions, including the Cutler lands in Aberdeenshire and the Temple lands in Narshire. This all goes to the issue of the Holy Grails. The knights were the people that were noble enough to go in search of the Holy Grail. The Order of St. John, also known as the Knights Hospitaller, took over the Templars' properties in Scotland after 1307. There are modern-day groups and organizations claiming to be descended from the Knights Templar in Scotland, such as the Ordo Supremus. I can't even read the whole name, doesn't matter, just another order. It is essential to note that the legend of the surviving Templars fleeing to Scotland with the treasure from France are unfounded. So, but let's look a little further, because Scotland seems to know some things that others don't. I also wanted to mention, in Arthurian legend, the Holy Grail is the object sought by the King Arthur's knights, particularly from the 13th century, which had Christian meaning. The term grail denotes a wide-mouthed or shallow vessel, though its precise etymology remains uncertain. The legend, possibly, as I said, was inspired by Greek, Roman. Many knights of the Round Table sought the Grail, but only Galahad, the illegitimate son of Sir Lancelot and Lady Elaine, was worthy of receiving it. Galahad's purity of heart and gallantry made him the most perfect of all knights. According to some versions, the Grail is the cup which is the cup that Christ last drank from. Many knights of the Round Table have sought the Grail. That's the whole history around King Arthur and the knights. so going back to this book, and I'd done a video like a year ago about this. The Holy Land of Scotland traces the extraordinary genealogy tapestry of the Christic Grail descendants from the family of the antediluvian patriarch Noah through to the immediate Jesus family circle. The Celto-Hebraic origins of the family of Christ are shown to be directly associated with Scotland, and Scotland was formerly Caledonia, which is in the Bible, and the essential story underlining mystical Scotland, which many have sensed is finally revealed. The implications are that there has been a monumental historical cover-up surrounding the real Jesus story and the true purpose behind his planetary mission. When one remembers the dictum that history is written by the victors, then clearly even the validity of much of the historical data which has been presented to mankind during the past 2 millennia alone is itself bound to be questioned. So the objective investigator of historical truth has to do with the best that he or she can with as much interests, whose ongoing hidden agenda relies on the distortion and misrepresentations of historical truth. In approaching the historical gospel of the Grail, the author believes that a complete overview is not truthfully possible without giving some consideration and attention to the extensive ramifications of what can be seen to be a nefarious, satanic, anti-Grail scenario. It is for this reason that the author has covered in some detail the anti-Grail, the Antichrist global agenda. The Holy Land of Scotland, which contains a plethora of fascinating documented information, provides a unique insight into the hidden history of humanity for the past 2 millennia and beyond. It is essential. Okay, so that's about that. But there's also so let me go here. So basically, trying to tie all this together, like I said, I'll probably have to do a follow-up. The surrounding the British Isles in Joseph of Arrhythmia and Lazarus, also John the Apostle, on a secret Essen mission. Essen was a Jewish sect. After the crucifixion of the historical figure known as Jesus, the Nazarite, with them was a small band of relatives, including several women initiates. This small group may have come to Scotland to place a now known as the Fordingal, where is to be found a very ancient yew tree, which is believed to be the oldest tree in Europe. Here, monastic settlement may subsequently have been established for the dissemination of an ancient mystery tradition centered on the Christ teaching. And really what their teaching of Christ is what I keep telling people, is it's about the personal relationship. This could have formed the basis of the Johannine Grail Church, which incorporated the mystery teaching of St. John. St. John the Evangelist in the guise of Lazarus, apparently as a result of a fusion between this ethnic, which is the Jewish sect group, and elements of a pre-existing Druid magi. This Johannine, and here it doesn't have the T, but it's the same, church developed through a monastic line which became known in Celtic Britain as the Culdees, a term originating from the Gaelic Culdage, which translates as both servants of the Lord and certain strangers. That seems so strange to me because when the pilgrims came over, they referred to their trip on the boat as they were the saints with strangers. So let me follow this up because there's more to get into regarding this.